Let me tell you the bridge story of Tale of Two Wastelands, which is the definitive Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas story, combined via a train station that takes you west. Assuming that you do everything that Fallout 3 has available before going on this train, and do everything that Fallout New Vegas has available, including expansion packs, before the Battle of Fuberdam, this is the story you would have. So you were born, and your daddy is Liam Neeson. Shortly after you are born, your mum dies, and you are washed away. And then Ron Perlman narrates the last 200 years since the nuclear holocaust in post-apocalyptic America. He tells you that you are born in the vault, and you would die in the vault, and you grow up in the vault. Upon coming of age in the vault, your dad escapes the vault, and the security comes looking for you with hostile intent, so you escape the vault on the search for your dad. The first town you find is usually a town called Megaton, named after the giant atomic bomb in the town's center that is undetonated, and is worshipped by a cult known as the Children of Adam. The sheriff would like you to disarm this bomb, but a man in the bar would like you to detonate it. Either way, your reward is free accommodation and a robotic butler, either in the town's best shack or in the evil guy Tenpenny's magnificent tower, should you choose to blow it up. But along the way, you scour the wasteland to find your dad and find him trapped in a simulation. After hacking the simulation or doing as the administrator asks, you're released from the administration as so as from the simulation as so as your dad. And he tells you we gotta go fix the industrial water purifier, citing Revelation 21:6. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I shall give unto him the first of the waters of life freely. So you go with your dad across Virginia and pick up Dr. Scientist Lady and her team and start working on the water purifier. Then the big bad government shows up and starts executing people and demanding that the water purifier be turned on, and your dad informs them it's not ready yet. So he executes someone else that says turn it on. So your dad turns it on, flooding it with radiation, and tells you to run, and you and Dr. Scientist Lady run through tunnels to the Pentagon, where a remnant of the army is waiting, and gives you access to a computer that tells you where you might be able to find the MacGuffin piece of technology you need for the water purifier. You go to this underground cavern, and it's full of super mutants, like Lou Ferrigno's Hulk without a dick. And only one of these mutants, which is locked away in a cell, is non-hostile, but he helps you get the MacGuffin. And then on your way out of this underground shelter full of abominations, you get kidnapped by the big bad government and get surried away. They torture you for the information of how to activate the purifier, and then the quote-unquote president releases you from your binds and gives you back your gear and tells you he would like to meet you. You make your way to the president and he gives you a vial that he wants you to poison the water with. But should you choose not to, you storm the water purifier with the remnants of the government, remnants of the army, and turn the water purifier on and black out, and 3 weeks later you wake up from a coma and hunt down the rest of the big bad government. You go on a couple of vacations after this, one to a swamp, where the swamp people try to eat you, and you help a zombie kill a brain in a jar, and along the way you go to a cult that worships fruit, and they send you to the mother fruit, and the mother fruit gasses you. When you wake up and go back to the cult, there's a woman named Nadine there, and she's like, yeah, some dude plucked out a piece of your brain, and I think I know who it is. Along the way, you might find an Eldritch Book of Horror, which a Christian wants you to burn, but if you give it to the mystic man, he does voodoo rituals with it. And that's one vacation. You get a piece of your brain in a jar after you deal with the guy who plucked your brain. And then the second vacation takes you to Pittsburgh, where either you liberate some slaves, or you fuck them over when you realise that in order to help them, you've got to kidnap a baby. And then you get abducted by aliens, you get probed, and you and a ragtag group of people from across time fight your way to the cockpit of a spaceship, blow up another spaceship, and activate a teleporter that takes you back to DC. After this, you're like, fuck the East Coast, I'm going west, and you fix the train. You go to Vegas, and you get hired as a mailman, and then Chandler Bing shoots you for your package. And you burn a trail across the Mojave, helping some towns out, and deciding on what faction is ultimately going to be positioned to take over the Mojave. Either the Democratic Republic from back west, or the Legion of Slaves, They dress up as Roman soldiers, the man behind a computer screen named Mr. House, or one of his robots has been hacked that you can use to take over for yourself. But before you decide ultimately, you go on a couple more vacations. You go to Utah and help out some Mormons and some tribals with some bandits. You go to a city of the dead and have a bomb strapped to your neck and you rob a casino. And just before you walk the lonely mile and decide whether or not to nuke one, both, or neither of the two major factions vying for power over Hoover Dam, you go to a midnight science fiction adventure. You go to watch a movie and you interact with a satellite that's crashed at the drive-in theatre to get teleported to a place called Big Mountain, where brains in jars will scoop out your brain, heart, and spine, and they send you on a fetch quest to get technology that, unbeknownst to them, will help you put them back into your body. By the time you are face to face with your own brain, if you can bear with that concept, you have a conversation with your own brain, and he is not too keen on getting back inside you. Considering the amount of trauma that this brain has suffered in the adventure across two wastelands, my question is, can you truly blame your brain for not wanting to get back inside you?